Hello? What's up, everybody? Hello? How y'all doing? I just go a little bit slow for a couple minutes, let people get in here and all that. What's up, Nico? What's up, Luca? Happy to have you around. What's up, Cheyenne? Hello, hello. What's up, Valdemar? What's up, everybody? I'll just give it a couple minutes, collect the people before I really start. Do you guys have your scenes ready? Locked and loaded? Guess I can do the quick intro. So, hello everybody. I am Onua and I'll be instructor today. and this is Bootcamp 3 out of 4, which means we'll be doing texturing. Exciting stuff. Let's go. And for the people that don't know, I am currently a student here at CADA, and I'm a third semester enjoyers. Boop. Everybody get your scene ready. This is kind of where we left off from last time. How are you all doing today? Has it been a nice evening, nice day? Are you all excited to do some 3D? Let me actually check. I think some of you all were in here last time. Yeah, I saw Cheyenne posted. Nico, you posted too. Nice. Do you all have your scenes ready, locked and loaded? Ready to get some textures on them? Okay, basically, if there's any new people watching, this is how it's gonna go. This is live. Oh, and let me know if the sound is alright, by the way. Is the music too loud, too quiet? Can you hear me okay? So everybody, this is live, which means that you can ask as many questions as you want. That's why I'm here, that's why we're doing it live. So if there's anything that I'm going over, and I'm going over too fast or too slow, let me know. Or if you need something repeated, I'm more than happy to do that. That's why we're doing a live stream, because that's super useful, especially if you're just learning. And I guarantee you, if you have a question, there's probably 1 or 2 other people in the chat that are wondering about the same thing. So don't be shy. Go ahead and ask as much as you need to. Okay, let's get into it. Are we ready for it? Perhaps. Sounds all good. Great. Okay. Oh, whoop. If you downloaded my scene, there's this little button up here to enable you to actually see what you select and stuff. I think that was ticked off in the download one. Let's go. Alright, nice, good energy, people. Let's get into it. Okay, texturing, color, super exciting stuff. So how are we gonna go about it? And I don't know if any of you all followed last time, but it will be similar. And I should ask, as a new student, Luca, have you done any Blender stuff before, or is this your first time in Blender? Do you know like the basic hotkeys and stuff, and how to navigate that? Because I probably won't be going over that too much unless there's someone that needs it. So color, how do we do that? So in 3D, I'll start off very slowly and very basic. We're just gonna throw some color on our things, and then we're actually gonna go about how to paint it in a little while. So we'll start super slow, super easy, so you can all get into it. I should get my reference up on screen actually. Whoop, I should have prepared that one. It's nice to have some reference so we can actually kind of see what the colors look like. Whoop, hold up everybody. Do you all have your scenes open, ready to go? Hold up. But this is kind of what we did last time. Pretty new, okay. But I assume you know how to like navigate. I'm willing to learn on my own. Okay. So basically, if you're completely new, middle mouse to orbit around, shift middle mouse to pan around, and then you can scroll on your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Left click to select stuff. Out here is all the things that you can select. You can shift select to select multiple things. I'll sort of talk through what I'm doing as I'm doing it, so hopefully you can follow along. Okay, so first things first, there's a super basic way of applying color in 3D. Coffee shop from last time, yeah, nice. So that's what we're gonna start with. We're basically gonna just apply a base material to something. And so the word material in 3D is actually exactly what it is in real life. So when you're doing a painting or something, obviously you can just pick colors and put it on there. But in 3D you actually pick the material. So you can make a material like very glossy or very matte. So there's different parameters that you can change. You can make a material very metallic in 3D, or you can make it very non-metallic. You can make it so it looks fleshy, sort of like light can shine through it, like goo or jello, or you can make it very solid looking, like this mouse cursor, like no light shines through that, right? So there's all these parameters, and what we'll start out with is the base color. So all these materials have different properties, and it might sound scary, but it's really not. It's just a slider in the end. But they all have a different sort of base color. So this one is obviously black, and my hat is like a very light sort of olive green, desaturated, right? So how do we go about doing this? So if we select, let's go for the outside first, right? If we select the outside right here, our house, we can go into the little material tab that you should all see on the right side. So we'll be going to some of these options now. There's a little ball at the end called material. And if you go in there, you should see that your box already has a material on it. Material.001 in my case, because I think this was the very first box that we made. And Blender by default applies a material to all of those. So go in there and see if you can find that. And in here you will see a lot of the stuff that we talked about, like the roughness, for example, the metallicness of it. So if we go here and we go to like maybe studio lighting, okay, gotta go. So obviously, so the way we see stuff right now through the viewport is in a view that's designed to be very useful for 3D modeling, and it might not bother spending all the PC's resources to kind of get these very realistic looking materials. But if we were to go in and say, let's make this box like super metallic, and now when we go in and we actually click up here to get the rendered view, so it's not a very great example. So I go to cycles, and the stream will lag because it's using all the resources of my PC, but you should be able to see how shiny that is. Hopefully my voice is not laggy. So let's go back to non-laggy again, and then let's say I make it very non-rough, so the more you put it up, the more rough it's gonna be, which means it's obviously like it's gonna be more matte, like this banged up case. It's very rough, so it's matte, but the front is more shiny. It's not that matte, like the surface texture is very non-rough, right? It's very shiny. So if we make it very metallic and very non-rough, and we go back to our rendered view, you'll see that there's almost like a reflection in it. You can see the can. It's very metallic and reflective. Is that part making sense for the people so far? Really just trying to demonstrate how these materials work right now. Okay. So let's put stuff back where it was. And so what we're going to start out with is the base color. We should worry about that. So as you can see, we can change the color that we want. In this case, we're just gonna leave it as like a very white sort of color. Boop, and even in here, we can choose to make it respect the texture. Hold on. Okay. Oh, actually that is not gonna work. So when we wanna see what we're doing, we can use Eevee. So with Eevee we can sort of see what we're doing, and then at the very end we can switch to cycles to get that nice realistic scene. And we get all our real reflections and all that. So let's just go through here and sort of pick whatever it is that we think fits the color scheme. So let's say for this tabletop right here, just left click to select it, go down to the material tab, and let's put it to like a light sort of yellow, not that saturated, maybe like around here. You can also go to RGB or all these and like lower the saturation a little bit. So you can kind of see how we can get that. And then this wooden beam down here. So this one does not have a material on it. So we can go in and we can click new. So now we just created something called material number 17. We could call it whatever we wanted to. So like wood beam we could call it. And then we can make it like this sort of darker brown color, sort of like the reference, right? And you can play around with the colors as you wish. It's sort of your time to get creative. So we're kind of doing this. And now because we called it wood beam, we can go to another one and then we can just search for wood beam and then we can put that on. Nice. So far so good. And I think we should go ahead and do this for like a lot of our materials right now. So I just go through and pick some colors that we feel like fits the scene. And these hard shadows are actually kind of making it a little bit difficult. There we go. Some light in here. Okay. And let's just keep going. So we see some like hard blacks on here. So we can make a new material right here and call this like sheer metal. And then we can add a very dark black to it. And then we can make it shiny. So shiny being the opposite of rough. So very little roughness on it. And maybe add some metallicness. That would be kind of cool. And then we can go here and look for sheer metal. So you can just search right here. Pick. Sheer metal. Okay. Is this like base principle making sense to people? Have you guys been able to put materials on your stuff? Or some of it? Before I keep going. And I'll just go through this whole scene and like pick some materials for it. But let me know if it's making sense and you're able to pick materials for your own thing. Yes, sir. Nice. Okay, great. So we might get done with the texturing depending on how thorough we are with it. And then I'll just start adding more stuff during the end of the stream. But as I'm working, feel free to just like, for example, this wood beam, you can just go ahead. Like you don't need to wait for my okay, you know, you can just go ahead and add whatever it is that you feel like is appropriate right there. So I'll call this light wood plank. And then I can just go ahead and put light wood plank on all these. Okay, we're sort of getting there. Let's make a new material right here. And then we can call this one chair seat. I'm just double clicking the name to change it, by the way. So maybe this is a cushion, so we make it a lot less rough, and then pick this sort of slightly reddish in the hue. I see this one should actually be more red, because now we start to see all the colors compared to each other, right? Then chair seat. And now because both of these have the chair seat material, right? If you go in and you change one, they're both gonna change. That's super handy. Gotta go early, love the work though. Have a great stream, thank you so much. Nico, don't worry about it. Hope you can join again next time. Alright, let's keep going. So maybe this one should be a little bit more warm in the color. So, and then wood beam, we can go ahead and just add it up here too, because I feel like on the reference that's sort of the same vibe. Wood beam. And even here, when they do have a material, we can just go ahead and search, and it basically just replaces that material right there. So really nice. I feel like this border, does it have the same kind of wood? It might actually have that. So we can go ahead and just go ahead and add that to all of these. And of course there are faster ways of adding the same material here and there, but I'm just showing the simple way for now. And of course there's more to it than this. Maybe you can add the chair metal right here. That's kind of fitting. There's way more to it and we'll get into that, like how to actually paint and stuff like that. But for now, just worry about sort of being able to put materials on stuff. So this one could also be like wood beam material, right? It kind of fits. And then this thing right here. Oop. I'm gonna put a new material on it, and let's make this one metallic actually. So we can call it kettle. Then we just worry about the metalness of it. Then lower the roughness a bit. Great. I'll let people catch up a little bit. Let me know if there's any struggles. Okay. It's starting to look like something. There's colors in it. Okay, while we're here, this is actually not what we're doing right now, but I think it would be really cool if we put a warm light inside, because that's kind of what I'm seeing in the reference, and I just think it'd look really nice while we're working on it. So let's try that. Don't want to get too sidetracked right now, but I just think it'd be real nice. Then we can also make these a little more pleasant to look at. Okay, that's sort of cool. Nice. Okay, great. Alright, so we just keep at it. I think the floor should get a new material right here. A little more grayish. Okay, let's make a material for the cups. Let's call it, we just call it cup, not too complicated. So they're kind of like this ceramic material. So a little bit warm in the tone. And then maybe shiny. So warm and a little bit shiny. We add it here. Cool. Then we can call this one, we can go back and call this one light wood. And then we can give it to these shelves in the back. Yep, just going through all of them. If we wanted to make this quick, right, so, oops. Hold on. So we want to make this quick, let's say, we want to add the material to all of these. A way we can do it is we can select all of them, so shift select all of them, and then Control J. And now they're basically one object. So if we go into edit them, they're like all in the same object, if that makes sense. And then we can just go in, we go in and change it to light wood, and then they all change. So if you want to be a little bit efficient with it, go in, light wood. And then we can do like a little golden knob on this. This is cool. Actually, let's make a new material here. So let's say I change my mind, like I want a different material on this one. I don't want the wood beam. I can make a new one and call it like dark wood. And then I just go up to this one and then I click the little minus symbol right here to delete it from this one. And now it has the dark wood material on it instead. Sort of like that. And then here we can make a new one and call it gold. So let's make a gold material. So it's gonna be metallic, light, not too saturated. It's very easy to go too hard when it comes to the gold. We give it a little bit more. Okay, fair enough. Luca, is it going too fast for you or is it still alright? It's a little bit, depends on how much, I guess you've tried it before on your own. I hope you can follow along a little bit. And if there's anything I need to go over again, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to do that. Okay, I'll just give people like a 1 second breather and then we'll be going into like how do we, so sure we can add like color to stuff, right? But how do we actually go about, well, let's say there's this coffee sign here, there's text on it, there's like a little picture, like a little illustration, like what do we do about that? How do we go about it? All of those things. So feel free to ask questions, everybody, if there is any. I'll be more than happy to answer them right now while people are catching up. And if you do have a drawing tablet, it will be useful for this next step. But if not, that's completely fine too. Fine, but I'm planning on rewatching this class later. Thanks. Yep, that is more than okay. I would always suggest like it's really fun to sort of work on your own thing. So if you have something in mind, maybe something that's completely different from a coffee shop, you should try to do that as well. It just makes the whole process a lot more fun. And then of course just try to apply the stuff that I'm saying here because it is just really universal, right? You can use it for anything. Okay, so I'll assume that people have been able to put on like basic materials for their things and everything like that. So now I'll move on to, well, how do we actually get into the nitty-gritty of texturing, painting, making stuff that's just not like one basic color. So I think we'll start with the sign at the very top, the most obvious one, the one that says coffee. Well, how do we do this? So first thing is we'll add a new material like we have been doing. Let's call it coffee sign. Coffee sign. And now we're going to be using one of the other tabs up here in Blender. So like I said last time, Blender is like the Swiss Army knife of 3D. There's so many different things to do. Let me get this a little bit. There's so many different things, and now we'll be going into one of the other tabs. So there's all these different ones, but right now we go into texture paint. And this is the space where we'll be painting stuff. And how painting works in 3D is sort of like, you need to make a picture that has all the information of your texture on it. And so what does that mean? Let's say I had a cylinder. I wanted to put a picture around that cylinder. So how do you do that? Well, in 3D, you make a flat image. Let's say like my mouse mat right here, a flat image, and then you wrap that flat image around your cylinder. So kind of like that. And this is called UV unwrapping. So is that making sort of sense? Hold up. Kind of like this. So especially if you've been in Denmark, this is like a very good example of sort of what it is that I'm talking about, right? So we make a picture and then we tell the 3D software how is that picture supposed to wrap around our object. That's kind of how it works. It's called UV unwrapping, and we're not going to get too deep into this today. We're just gonna sort of know, okay, this is sort of what's going on, right? We don't really need to get into the nitty-gritty of it. But as long as you sort of understand that we're making a flat image and then putting that onto our 3D model. So in practice, we would want to go in here and we would just start painting. But the software has no idea what it is that we're painting and how we're doing it, because everything comes back to a flat image and it doesn't know how we want that image to wrap around our object. So one thing we have to do first is UV unwrapping. So we've got to go to the other tab up here called UV editing. So Blender has all these workspaces set up nicely for us. So it just took us into edit mode by default. But if you're not, you can go up here, go to edit mode. And now we gotta select the whole object. So click A to select all of it. And then, so you can see it's already trying out here, but we are just gonna give it one more go. So A to select all of it, and then U to go up into the UV unwrapping menu, and then click unwrap. So it's not gonna know why. Okay, sorry, there's seams and stuff. It's way too deep for this lecture. But we're just gonna go smart UV project and then just click OK. And now it's just gonna estimate what it is that would be a good way to unwrap this model. So you can sort of see that we have a surface right here, and it knows that this part of the picture is gonna be this part of the 3D model. So if we now go back into our texture painting, we can make a new texture slot. So go to the texture slot right here, click the plus sign, and we want to color in the base color. So you could also color in 3D. sort of where the model is metallic and where it's not. You can make very intricate textures, but for now we're just gonna go ahead and work with the base color. So let's say we want to make a black base color because our sign is black, right? So now everywhere in our square texture is black, but if we go ahead and we paint on here, you can see we're gonna see it on the front surface because it knows that this square is where it should project onto in 3D space. And this might be a little bit complicated when you're getting into it first, but it'll become more and more intuitive and it will make more and more sense. And so we can also paint inside 3D space right here. So if we were to do like a quick coffee, you can see sort of how that looks. We can go ahead and write whatever we want, and then it will save that information into our texture. And the texture is what is saved. And then when you open the file again the next time, or the project again next time, well, it knows where everything is supposed to go because it saves this information. Okay, and that was a very, very quick overview of something that there's a lot to it, you know, and you can study this for a while to really understand how all that works. But for this bootcamp, all you really need to understand is that we need to, before we actually paint on something, we need to tell Blender to unwrap it for us first, so it knows where everything is supposed to go. Is that making sense to people on like a very surface level? Not as in you have like a complete deep understanding on it, but like you kind of understand that we have to do this process, or it doesn't know that the face is supposed to go right here, and it doesn't know that the feet are supposed to go right here, basically. Okay, so let's actually just try to paint something real quick, and here's a good time to pull out your tablet if you do have one of them with the little pen, because you can sort of go in and you can actually paint with the pressure as well. I can go, oh, that's nice, and I can make a little gradient if I wanted to, and actually paint something really cool. Coffee. Oops, went back a little bit too far. And of course you can also Control Z and Control X to redo, or Control Shift Z to redo. So Control Z to undo, Control Shift Z to redo. Yeah. I'm going to go in and we can change our brush settings up here like any other painting software. And you can go as artistic with this as you want, really. It's kind of up to the individual here. I'll let people go wild if they want to. I'll probably go pretty simple for this demonstration. Yeah, there's a bunch of different settings right here. There's the stroke, the fall off. We can make it like with no fall off basically, which means that from the middle and out there's no like gradual, like it gets less and less. It's just like a big chunky one now because there's no fall off. We kind of get this, which can be nice if we wanted to do some sort of pencil-esque or chalk, maybe even sort of writing. Go like coffee. Hey, sorry, I got lost. Could you unwrap the thing again? I don't think I did it right. Yeah, of course. Actually, I'll go back to this sign, but let's go ahead and you know what? Let's just do the whole thing over again. That's completely fine. What's up, Jerry? If you want to join, you can catch up. There should be a link to the file that I'm working on as a pinned comment, and you can just download it and hop right in. We're just sort of going over the basics of how to texture and all that. Okay, so first things first, we need to unwrap this thing. What's up, Katrin? It's a very cool scene that you've been working on. I want to see it with some textures on it too. You should get to that. Okay, so first things first, we go up to the UV editing tab up here because we need to tell it. Wait, hold up. we need to decide what goes where. So we need to know that the face of our texture is supposed to go right here. So we need some kind of relationship between this area on our texture and this area on our 3D model. How does it wrap around it? So how to do that in a simple way is we can make Blender do that for us. So we go into the UV editing tab right here, and then we go into edit mode, and you might already be in it by default because Blender is nice to you like that. And then you click A to select all of it because we want to unwrap the whole model, this whole sign at least. And then we click U, and then we click Smart UV Project. So let's say this model wasn't unwrapped. Let's just do something weird so you have some kind of unwrapping that doesn't work. So we just select all of it with A, click U, and then Smart UV Project. And that's Blender's way of making a good guess at what a great UV unwrap would be, and that's more than enough for what we're doing today. So you go ahead and do that, and then once you've done that, we can go into the Texture Paint tab. And you should already have a material on it, but if you don't, you can go into the Material tab, and then you can add a material. So let's go ahead and make one and call it Coffee Sign 2, because we just redid it now. Up here is your tool settings, you also have them up here. And so now that you have a material on it, you can decide to add a texture to it. So a texture, in this case, is basically this. Our little image, square image, where we can paint on. And then Blender will use that information to wrap around the 3D model. So we go ahead and say, okay, I want to make a new texture. So go to texture slot, click the little plus, and then you have your base color right here. So you can click that, and then you can make a new color. And I'll just set it by default to be all black, because our sign is pretty black, right? Maybe give it a little bit, so like that. And then click OK. And now you should see we have this black texture out here. And then we can color pick here, and we can pick white, and then we can go ahead and paint on it. Did that help you out, Valdemar? Let me know if there's still like a place that you're stuck at or something. It's completely fine. Don't worry about it, that's what I'm here for. More than happy to help. Yeah, no worries, of course. Glad you could, glad I could help you. Okay. So let's make like a cute little design. So coffee, right here is just very block letters, which is kind of classic for like a sort of a little bit modern coffee shop. Maybe we can do something cute with it, like some handwritten stuff. So like just go ahead and do like make it real nice. Of course you can spend a while on this. I am not great at like nice writing, so bear with me everybody. Coffee. Okay, let's go ahead and say that is not awful. And then maybe we can even draw something kind of cute right here. Let's go ahead and go like, whoop. Maybe like that. Ooh. Oh, it's kind of hard. I'm reaching over my keyboard. And then maybe like a little flower or a petal. I don't know, you can go wild with it, everybody. Just draw whatever it is that you feel like, you know. Just test it out. And maybe like a little scribble here. I'm just doing something to do it so you can see that you can just sort of do whatever it is that you want. So we kind of got this little coffee sign right here. Sort of cute, kind of cute. If you want to switch between black and white, so if you're saying like, oh, what if I want to erase? Well, you just click X, and then you can paint with black instead. So you can go in and you can sort of go ahead and paint with black if that's what you want. So maybe we can paint out something and make this kind of like little. Maybe we can leave the top a little bubbly. Coffee. Okay, let's not overcomplicate it, but I hope you guys sort of understand how that works, and you should be able to texture. And it's so nice being able to do this while you're looking at your model inside Blender. You can just like see everything, and this is very nice, and you can see it lit as well. Okay, so let's go on to the other coffee sign maybe. And of course you can also change the colors, right? If you want to paint with red, you can do that. You just go to your little tool, or up here you can click up in the tool setting up here, click, and then you can pick whatever color you want. So let's say if we wanted like a pink themed coffee shop, we could do something, or like a purple themed one, right? You can always like add little accents and do whatever it is that you feel like is right. How about it? Let's try it. Let's try to get a little bit creative and try to do like a little purple theme. What's up, Clarissa? Hi. Thank you. And we can always go back to the sign, right? Just to demonstrate that you can play around with colors, you can paint whatever it is you want. Alright, so let's go back, because we want to do this sign right here, and as we talked about before, we need to unwrap it first, just to tell Blender what's going on. So we can go back to the UV editing mode, and you can go in and out of object mode here to select different things. So before you were in this, you can go back to object mode, select this round little fella here, go to edit mode, select all of it, so A to select all of it, and you can see it actually already has a UV map, but just to be sure, in case you guys have done something that I have not, we can go ahead and then tell it with U, and then smart UV project, and then Blender figures out whatever it is that it thinks is appropriate. Okay, we go back out into texture paint, and now for this material, so let's give it a new one, and we can call this one coffee sign side. Super creative, I know. And then we give it a base color texture, because obviously we don't, we need to make a new image that it can read off of, like I explained before. And then we go here, texture slot, click the little plus, base color, boom. And then we can also pick a black as the base right now. There we go. And now we should be able to, now we're painting with black on black, obviously. Can't see a lot. But if we go back to our tool tab up here, or you can access it up here, we can click X, and then we can go ahead and paint whatever it is that we want here. You can also paint on the other side. So if you find it a little bit easier, you mirror what you're painting and you don't know how to turn it off. Interesting. So could it be that you have maybe like X up here? Like in one of these settings up here, this is where you do the mirroring. There's like X, Y, and Z. You can just click on the one that's highlighted to turn it off. Let me know if that solves your problem, Valdemar. So as I was saying, you can actually zoom in here, and we can make a little mark, and we can see, oh, this surface. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's why I'm here, happy to help. So we can see that this little mark is making us a mark right here on our image, our flat image texture. And so if we find it easier, if we want to draw, it might be easier to draw on a flat surface. So we could go in here and we could make like a little coffee mug or whatever. Now I am reaching over my keyboard, so it's a little bit difficult right now. But you could see sort of if you had the artistic skill, which I certainly could use some of, you could go ahead and you could paint whatever it is that you want right here. And you see it comes up on the other side right here. It's kind of cute, kind of nice, kind of neat. And you could really do this with anything in the scene, right? So it doesn't even have to be some of these signs. Like you could paint in some of these bricks, or you could paint in little scratches on the wood surface, variations and stuff. Everything you really want, right? So I'll go ahead and work on this sign for a little bit. You can also color pick. So let's say I can color pick this background color, and now to erase I can just paint with that one and it sort of goes away. Whoop. Then we can click X to switch, and let me paint with a white color right now. Maybe like a little bit warm in it. Oops. So sort of like a cream. It's kind of appropriate for a coffee shop. Are people able to get some texturing going? Has it been making sense, or has it been a lot too fast? Let me know, everybody. Okay, let me get my tablet a little closer to me so I'm not always reaching over it. Whoops. So let's try to make like our own little coffee mug here. It's certainly not easy, especially since I definitely am not a line art master. But you can really draw whatever like whatever you want here. You can also just write out coffee again or something, or maybe you're doing a completely different shop. That's also right. You should always keep in mind how it looks here. So you can already see that, oh wow, it's actually kind of like right where we don't want it to be. So let's just go ahead and redo it a little bit. So like make it here. A little coffee mug with the handle. And then we can make some steam coming out of it. Whoop. There we go. Maybe we can make some kind of like we did before. For the people who don't have a tablet, is there a way to add pictures as texture instead of drawing the texture by hand? Yes, of course there is, Katrin. Okay, so for the people that are completely new, especially if you're new to texturing in 3D, I would recommend holding off on this a little bit because we're just doing it a little simple. But I'll show it for Katrin right now. So there's the shading tab right here that you can go into. So right now we're in the texture paint. So in the shading tab, when you have your material selected, kind of like you know it from Maya, because I know you know Maya, Katrin. You have this base color texture that's going into our shader. This is our shader. And then you can go ahead right here and you can select whatever texture you want. So right now what we did is, in the texture paint mode, we made a new texture right here in Blender, so it's saved internally and then we can save it out, right? But you can also go right here and instead of having it read that texture, you can click this little folder and you can pick whatever texture you want from your... Yes, of course, I know. That's why I'm showing it. I hope I can help out. I'm more than happy to do that, right? So yeah, you click this little folder right here and then you can pick whatever texture you want. And then if you're doing a normal map or whatever, you have your options down here. And you can just pipe it in. Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. You can add a bunch of inputs here as well, whatever you want. And it's like a whole node system. You can do whatever you want. Super powerful. Okay, let's go back to our little texture painting. Could be cute to sort of fill this in a little bit. Did that help you out, Katrin? Get it now, nice. I think I hope you're enjoying Blender. It's definitely its own thing. It's kind of simple in a lot of ways, but then like the tools are very useful together, and you can go like very far with some basic tools. Okay, and we can even, if we want to, we can go back here to our tool and then we can color pick off of this. But the color picker is going to be a little bit off because we're color picking from a lit area of our scene. Then we can just add a little dabble of this color in here. Let's not overdo it. That was overdoing it. Okay, I think we just keep it at that. Great. Okay, beautiful. This is sort of one of the really fun parts of texturing, right? You get to play around with this stuff a lot. I love this stuff. It's nice. Oop. Okay, where did our reference image go? It's back over here. Okay, and then we got a third and final sign down here. We can go ahead and work on that now. So, if you remember, we gotta go back to UV editing mode. We select it, and let's give it a material. Is it possible to fill in a certain face on the object with one color? Okay, let's try, let me see. So, let's go back in here. So, so I wonder if the fill tool has you know what, Valdemar? I am not entirely sure, but I can almost guarantee you there must be. I'm not sure where that option is. If you really need it bad, what you can do is you can go into edit mode. So okay, let's just do it in like the layout or something. So let's say I really wanted these three faces to be a different color. Inside edit mode, you know how we go ahead and pick the materials. Inside edit mode, you can click assign, and those three faces will now have a different material assigned to them. So you can make a new material and do that if you really need it. I must admit that I usually texture in Substance Painter, so some very specific stuff I might not exactly know where it is, but I can almost guarantee you there is a way to do that in Blender. So, okay, let's move on to the sign down here. And also, like, yeah, so I guess another way you could look at it is like, say I accidentally I accidentally covered some parts of the border or something and it looked a little bit ugly like that, and I didn't want any on the border. Well, you can go into a UV map and look and see that you actually have like, this goes from here and then it teleports over here. So if you want to, on your UV map, you can go ahead and like, go into the tool, color pick the color here, and then you can go ahead and color over it. And you see how that kind of clears it up. So you can go ahead and paint in sort of individual polygons in this way, but I'm sure there's an option for what you want as well. Alright, let's move on, everybody. So go into object mode, right here, select the sign, back into edit mode, and then select all of it, Smart UV project, boom, and then it gives our UV map. We can do the same thing on the back one while we're at it, and it gives us that. And it's actually giving us the exact same one because I remember we just duplicated the same thing and turned it around. So we might be able to do something smart here. If we give this thing a material and call it floor sign, and then give the back one a material. So you can do this in texture paint mode, you can do it in UV editing, you can do the layout, doesn't really matter. These modes are all the same thing, they're just set up to be efficient for different things. So I can be in the UV editing mode and I can give it a material here, or I can be in the texture painting mode, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is be down here in this tab, and then we can go in here and find floor sign. Oh, did I not actually complete it? Oh, I called it floor sign. Well, I want floor sign. Same with this one, floor sign. So now when I paint something on this one, it should also appear on this one because it's the same model. Okay, and then we can go into texture painting mode. And then we need to give it a new texture. So this is what we're working with. I give it this kind of brown, maybe. Okay, and let's see if our... Oh, we were right, but we turned it the wrong way. So now it's actually appearing on the underside. But that is fine. Let's just go ahead and do it anyways. So we can go in and paint in a square here. I won't be too exact with it. It might be easier to do it on here, the flat surface. So let's see right here. So we can go ahead and like paint in. Then we can color pick the background color, and then we can correct it with that if we need to. Okay. And there's of course a bunch of smart tools, but I'll just keep it super primitive, and I think in the end it'll kind of look a little bit handcrafted and cute, so that's fine by me. We're just gonna fill it in. Maybe make the radius a little bit bigger. There we go. It's looking kind of cute. We can square it up a little bit if we want to. Now we can write something on it. So, whoop. I'll pick like a very light but slightly warm color. Okay, there we go. And I'll pick a smaller brush. And with all of these sliders up here, you can just click them and then you can type a number on your keyboard. So I can type in 6 and then click enter, and then I get a 6 pixel wide brush. Let's go ahead and make like another little coffee mug maybe. If we're not feeling done with those already. Whoop. Cough. Coffee. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Actually, let me make something. Make sort of like a little coffee dude. It's kind of cute. Give him some big boots. There we go. We got a little coffee dude. Should we give him some coffee arms too? Is that too much? I can give you a little coffee wave. What up? Yeah, just have fun with it, everybody, you know. All right. Hopefully you're all getting something that you think is kind of nice. Let's go back to this wall. Let's see if we can't get some kind of brick sort of texture in here. So what we've been doing so far is like walls and stuff, but you can actually use it for yeah, stuff like wood, or we've been using for signs and stuff, sorry, but you can also be using it for stuff like walls or wood or like materials, just to indicate sort of what it is that is going on with those. So let's go in here, select all of it with A, Smart UV Project, go back into texture painting, and then give it a base color slot. Okay. Let's make it a little bit warm. I don't know why it's like that. Okay. Now we can go in and we can sort of paint in whatever it is that we feel like will give us that brick feeling. So we don't have to go too wild with it. All we need to do is really just indicate something. Do you know when the open house is going on, CADA? No, I'm not entirely sure. I wonder if it says on the website. But I'll probably be there at the open house if you want to come to those. It says Thursday, 28th of November. Yeah, so in November, that's when the open house will be, and then there'll be a couple more after that too. So So I think I actually overcomplicated it here. It doesn't need to be that complicated. Boop, boop. Just to give it some hint of some kind of texture. Of course, I'll keep it simple like I promised, just for the fact that we're all learning. I'll just do some kind of break feeling stuff. Yep. If you're thinking about 3D education, it doesn't even have to just be CADA. I mean, going to the open house is a good way to sort of, yeah, you know, it's not like, oh, now you're locked into an education or something. It's just sort of to understand your own, like, or get a perspective, I guess. It's kind of nice. Can be useful. And also you can talk to people directly there if you have any questions. Get lots of people just going there, and I'll be there and they'll ask me a bunch of stuff about things they're wondering or something. Because there can be, if you're learning 3D on your own and you're not really talking to others about it, there's like lots of things that you might be wondering about. And it can be nice just to go to an event like that, just so you can actually talk to other people about stuff. Okay, we kind of got this breakish texture on here. We can move on to wood. So go ahead and go into UV editing, select this one, Smart UV project, boom, boom, boom. Texture paint, give it a base color, it's bright. Just tweak it all a little bit. More or less the intention as well, yeah. I kind of, personally, I wish I would have done stuff like that earlier, because I had a lot of question marks about, like, oh, for example, well, should I be learning ZBrush? Should I be learning Substance Painter? What's the best way? Like, where should I get information? Like, all these kind of things that you want to know so eagerly. And you can actually get some kind of insight from people that have been through the same process that you want to go through. Super useful. Yeah. Yeah, what Katrin said is very true. So just go ahead and make this kind of striped pattern on the wood. Sort of enough to indicate that something is going on. This is pretty much just like the essentials of 3D texturing, right? So from here on out, if there's no questions, feel free to ask, of course, always. I'll just go ahead and freestyle it a little bit and try to see how much I can get done in a short amount of time. So we project this and then we go to texturing. Way too dark. Okay. Color pick, and then we just shift it a little bit. So go ahead and whoop. Just to give it something. It can be nice to just add a little bit of variation and stuff so it doesn't look so flat. And let's see, so there's this cool thing right here. I think we use the same material on these little guys. And if we shift select all of them and smart UV project them. Oh, did I click the right button? Okay, fair enough. They might also get a little bit of that variation. Yeah. Same with these beams up here. So it's just going to be using the same texture because it's on the same material. And there we go. A kind of cute little scene. I feel like, yeah, maybe I can go ahead and finish it up a little bit. Oops. Just do it like this. Oh. Oh, this is tough. I don't have my own setup. So right now, because I feel like I'm sort of somewhat where I want to be with the texturing, I'm just like adding like some final touches right now. Stuff that I feel like could be kind of cool. Okay, let's just keep it like that. Oop. Okay. Is it possible to kind of draw your own shape? So are you talking about as a model? like as an object. Yeah, I mean, there's tools for that. I mean, it's almost starting to sound a little bit like sculpting, where, hold up, let me save for a second. I don't know if you've seen my sculpting streams, but when you're sculpting, you can, say we take out a sphere. Then we can just give it a bunch of polygons. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with sculpting or not, but in Sculpt, when you're sculpting, you got all these like tools. So, how can we turn this on maybe? Whoop. And you can kind of draw in that sense, only a little bit, yeah. In sculpting, it's very, like, it's much more organic, and you can sort of draw on the surface of something if that's what you want, or you can sculpt something. But there are also tools where you can actually go ahead and literally like draw lines in, and it will create mesh. I think it's called quick tools. So I'll slowly be finishing up here. So maybe we can even, oh my god, my muscle memory is so strong from my the hotkeys that I usually use. It's I should just stop using hotkeys right now, I think. So we can copy our sign out here. Maybe even make it a little bit wider. And then we can give this one a new material. We can call it rim sign. Then we can go into UV editing, and then we just gotta unwrap it one more time. Okay, texture paint, give it a base material. There we go, just to reiterate the whole process. Bonk. And now we can go ahead and we can actually paint on it. Slightly warm cream. Q, thank you, Clarissa. It means a lot coming from the cuteness generator. So, guess we can make some kind of pattern down here or something. We can just go ahead and write in coffee, just in case people were in doubt about what the shop is already. Sign is off. That sign is not the prettiest one I've made, that is definitely for sure. Let's try to see if we can fix it a little bit. Turned out a little bit too sloppy on it, so let's be a little bit more careful. And it could turn into something nice, hopefully. You can do these little dotted lines, perhaps. See, right now I'm drawing on the actual texture, because it's a bit easier to keep things straight and neat. Break up the shapes a little bit. Okay, I think that's kind of cool, whatever. And that's sort of about it, I think, for today. Let me see what it looks like in cycles. It's just wonderful. Very cute scene. Wait. I cannot. Even if I had to stay a little bit extra, I need to get some pattern on that floor. That would be very cool. So let's go in real quick here. Smart UV project, like we've been doing. Texture paint, then we give it a new slot. Now I'm just telling it that the texture should be a little bit larger in terms of the pixel amount on it. And we can actually go in here and we can draw a little pattern on it. There we go, that's nice. Okay. And for the people that are new to the stream and haven't been here before, we do have a nice little Discord. And I would recommend everybody joining this Discord. It's really nice, and it's always more fun to do 3D when you're in a community. You can ask people for help, you can share your work, you can get that little dopamine, because we are all wanting to see each other's work, and it's just awesome to show it off. I'll get you all an invite. Whoop, let's see, CADA. How's it? Am I blind? There should be like invite people right there. Copy. Yes, the class is pretty much over. Right now I'll just, if people want to, I'll stay for a little bit. Because what we usually do after the stream is we post our work on the Discord. And if people are still like doing a little final texturing, I'll wait for like a minute or two. But if you want to, and also after the stream, feel free to, like if you watch the video and you work on it a little bit more, and then maybe a couple days after or tomorrow you're done with it, feel free to post your work right here in 3D Bootcamp. I'd love to see it. So this is all the models that we did last time. And right now I'll take a picture of what I have right here. So let's go back to the layout tab, and then we can hide all the stuff right here. And then I'll go with the cycles render engine, and then I'll be laggy for a little bit, but we might be able to get a nice picture. And then we go view, and then viewport render image is what we're looking for. Oh, what's happening? A little bit confused by that. Hold up. Okay, so it works in Eevee, but not in cycles. That is a-okay. Okay, well, a little bit strange. That's okay. We can just go ahead and like basically screen cap this like any other way you would. It's just to show to the people. Save. Oh. There you go. And now I'll go in the Discord. Alright, Luca. Yeah. I hope you could get something out of it, and I'm happy that you joined us. And for the people that are leaving and hopping in and all that, remember, you know, I don't want to be a mega YouTuber type person, but it does help getting the stream a little bit of attention if you do like it and not forget it, because then I can keep doing it, and it tells the people that people are actually enjoying it. So yeah, I'll see you next week, Luca. I'm happy you joined. This is awesome. I love this little dude up here. What the heck? That's so nice. Valdemar, nice job. I like that. That's cute. That's real nice. So funny. Okay, let's see if I can post mine as well. Boop. My little coffee shop texture. Good job, everyone. Hopefully. There we go. So we got a little coffee shop. I love this one, by the way. I think it's great. What's up, Atta? Thank you. Hopefully, yeah, I would love to see other people's work too if you get to that. Let me know if someone is like about to upload or still working on it or something like that. I'd love to see it. But if not, I'll slowly head out. Oh, that's sick. I love the little neon sign out there. That's so cool. The little menu. Very nice. That's cute. That is cute. Good job, Sharon. Good job. That's awesome. It is the same one from last time, right? Oh, it's a little updated one. You added some more stuff to it, I see, that's cool. Yeah, the little chairs and everything, that's nice. Good job, man. That's awesome. Okay, good job everybody. I'll head out now. It was nice hanging out with you all, and I hope you got something out of this stream. And I'll be back next week for Unreal or level design. Unreal/level design, I should say. We're gonna be making a scene in Unreal Engine. So okay, that's it from me, everybody. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, no worries, Shan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll see you all next time, and have a nice rest of your evening or morning or wherever it is for you. Goodbye.